Hello students, today we are going to see chapter number 7, that is dissolution of partnership firm of standard 12 commerce subject account. This is the second part of the chapter and first part is linked in the description. In that first part we have understood the meaning of dissolution of partnership and dissolution of partnership firm, and again we have seen the difference between those two. Today we are going to see the procedure that is supposed to be done at the time of dissolution of partnership firm, and we are going to see the method of the dissolution of partnership firm and accounting treatment of it. So very first thing we are going to see is that the method of dissolution of partnership firm. So here there are two methods of dissolution of partnership firm. Very first is a normal dissolution, that is without the interference of court, and the second one is a dissolution by court. So these two methods we are going to see first. So let's see the very first method, that is dissolution of partnership firm without the interference of court. Let's see method of dissolution of partnership firm. So here very first method is normal dissolution or dissolution without the interference of court. So here when there is an agreement between the partner, so due to the agreement partner can dissolve the firm according to the agreement. So here very first reason of dissolution of partnership firm is a agreement. The second reason is a dissolution as per the contract. When there is a contract and because of the that contract there is a partnership firm. So when that contract is going to be finished and completion of that contract, there is a dissolution of partnership firm. So that type of contract we can see in a construction of bridge or construction of any big institution. When there is a completion of that institution or bridge, that time the contract is going to be complete and the partnership is going to be dissolved. So the second one is a dissolution as per the contract. The third one is a dissolution as per the act. So here when the act is giving us guidance regarding the dissolution of partnership firm, in that very first is when all partners become insolvent. So here when all partners except one partner is going to be insolvent, in that situation partnership firm is going to be end as per the contract. The second one is when the business of firm become illegal. So whatever business is running by a partnership firm, if that business is going to be illegal by a government or there is a law related to that, so in that situation that type of business is going to be closed and partnership is going to be end. Let's say take one example. There is a plenty people, they were busy in making a plastic bag. When government make a law not to produce or not to sell or not to buy any plastic bag, in that situation that type of firm is going to be illegal and that business is going to be closed down and partnership is going to be dissolved. So in that situation the partnership automatically is going to be dissolved by act. So that is the third dissolution by act. The fourth one is a dissolution on happening of certain contingency. So if there is some contingency in that situation also partnership is going to be, and in that if constituted for a fixed term, by the expiry of that term partnership is going to be end. If the partnership is constituted for the particular term, if that term is going to be finished, then the dissolution of firm is going to be happen. The second one is if the constituted for to carry out specific aim by completion of their aim. So if there is a partnership for a particular aim and that aim is going to be finished, in that also partnership is going to be dissolved and that dissolution is called normal dissolution. Last one is a dissolution by notice. If all the partners are agreed and if they give the notice, in that situation also the partnership firm is going to be dissolved by a court, and if court find it the reason valid, then court can give an order to dissolve the firm. In that, very first is a when any partner become unsound mind. So if from the partner, any partner become unsound mind, in that situation partnership firm is going to be dissolved. The second one is when a partner become incapable of performing his duty towards the partnership firm. So here, when the partnership firm is going to be constituted, in that there are some duty allotted to partners. If any of that partner is not able to perform his duty towards the partnership firm, in that situation also there is a dissolution of partnership firm by court. The third reason is when partners undertake misconduct against the partnership firm. If any of the partner undertake any misconduct, that means is doing anything wrong towards the partnership firm, and in that situation, if the partner is going to sue the case in the court, the partnership is going to be dissolved. Next is when a partner willingly persistently breaches the partnership agreement. There is an agreement between the partner, and if any partner willingly persistently breaches that agreement, in that situation also, if a partner willingly break the rules of the partnership firm, in that situation also partnership is going to be comes to the end. The fifth one is when a partner transfer his whole interest in the partnership firm to third party without the consent of other partner. So if a partner is giving his whole interest in the partnership firm to other person, let's say his wife or his son, in that situation, if the other partner are not ready to continue the partnership firm with that person, a partnership is going to be ended by the court. The sixth one is when a firm continuously incur losses and it is unable to run the business due to loss. So when the any firm is making continuously loss and is not able to come out after all the effort, if the partnership firm is not able to come out from that loss, then the partnership firm is going to be dissolved. The last reason is when court find any other ground to be just and equitable to dissolution of partnership firm. If from above any other reason is there, that is also valid for the dissolution of partnership firm by the court. If court finds any other ground, then it is very valid for the dissolution of partnership firm. Then also court can give order to dissolve the partnership firm. So this is the method of dissolution of partnership firm. Now we are going to see procedure and accounting treatment of dissolution of partnership firm. Student, you may note down this in your notebook. Our next point, that is legal provision for accounting settlement for dissolution. So at the time of dissolution, which account supposed to be priority and which account supposed to be paid later on, that is already discussed and we supposed to follow this. So for if the firm is making loss, so for the loss making unit, first of all to be written off from the profit of the firm. So here first of all whatever the loss is there, that is supposed to be written off from the profit of the firm. And then also if any loss is there, that means if the profit is not sufficient, then it will be made from the capital account of the partner. So that loss supposed to be made against the capital of a partner. And if loss is still there and it cannot make the capital of the partner, then if capital is not sufficient, then all the partner would distribute in their profit and loss sharing ratio, because the profit and loss sharing ratio partner supposed to bring money from the home according to profit and loss sharing ratio. So this is the priority to set up the laws. Very first, write off against the profit. If profit is not sufficient, then from the capital account of the partner, and then if the capital is not enough, then partner is supposed to bring that much money from the home. So they are supposed to share in their profit sharing ratio. Now let's see the second thing, that is the liability of a firm and personal liability of a partner. So here, as we know that in a partnership firm, the liability of the partners are unlimited. So if when there is a loss and it cannot be made against the asset of partnership firm, all the partners are liable to pay the liability from the personal asset. So the partners supposed to sell their personal asset and pay off their personal liability, and whatever the remaining surplus is there, that is supposed to bring to the partnership firm. As there is a in a partnership firm, there is an unlimited liability of a partner. So that is. So here the third point is a partner's loan to firm. So if any partners have given any loan to the partnership firm, so how he is going to get that loan at the time of dissolution? So for that, very first thing, from the realization of asset, whatever money comes to the firm, very first the dissolution expense supposed to be paid off. After paying dissolution expense, third party liability supposed to be paid, and when after that, if any surplus is there, then and then only partner supposed to get his personal loan from the partnership firm. The next point is loan of partner's wife. If loan is taken from the wife is a third party, so it will be treated as a third party liability and will be pay off in order to that is very first is a dissolution expense, the third one is a third party liability. So it is supposed to be paid off as if it is a third party liability. But if wife has created this loan from his husband's personal asset, then it will be treated as a partner's loan and will be paid off after the third party payment. So that is. The fifth one is a liability of a partner. So here we already discussed before that the liability of a partner is unlimited. So in that situation, if any of that partner is going to be insolvent and that partner is not able to pay off his liability, the other partners supposed to be paid off from their personal asset. So partners liability, all the partners liability is unlimited until their personal asset, all the personal asset is not going to be sold off. So that is liability of the partner is unlimited. The last one is distribution of asset realization of firm. So how we supposed to distribute from the realization of the asset? When we are selling asset and when the money is coming in the business, how we supposed to distribute? So we already discussed before that very first all the dissolution expense supposed to be paid off. So we have to pay the dissolution expense very first. Then if there is any cash, from that cash liability towards the third party is paid. So here after dissolution expense, liability towards the third party is supposed to be paid, and then loan of the partner is supposed to be paid. So afterwards loan of the partners is going to be paid, and after that if any asset or any cash balance is going to be remain, from that capital or current account of partner are redeemed. So if any cash is there, from that capital of the partner is going to be redeemed, and afterwards if any surplus remain after distributing capital or current account of partner, if any cash is going to be remain, that is supposed to be distributed among the old partner in their profit sharing ratio. So after that whatever the cash is remain, that is supposed to be taken by the partner in their profit sharing ratio. So this is how we supposed to settle the account at the time of dissolution of partnership firm. Student, you may note down this. Then we are going to see accounting treatment, which account supposed to be opened at the time of dissolution of partnership firm. See accounting treatment at the time of dissolution of partnership firm. So here we are going to sell all the asset and we are going to pay all the liability. So for that, very first we are going to prepare that is our realization account. So in the realization account, whatever the asset is there, that asset account is going to close and will bring in the realization account. Whatever the liability is there, that account is going to be closed and will bring to the realization account. And after closing all the asset and all the liability of a partnership firm, then we are going to sell off all the asset at its maximum price. So after selling its asset, whatever is going to realize from that, then we are going to take to the cash account, cash or bank account, and from that money we are going to pay off the liability. Like that schedule is going to be followed. That means very first we are going to pay to for the dissolution expense. Afterwards we will pay third party liability, and after third party liability we are going to pay loan to the partners, and later on we will pay the capital or current account of a partner. And if any remaining surplus is there, that is supposed to be distributed amongst the partner in that profit sharing ratio. So this order is supposed to be followed at the time of the payment. So after selling all the asset, we are going to pay off all the liability, and that also we are going to take to the revaluation account and realization account, and we are going to see profit or loss from the realization account that we are supposed to take to the partner's capital account. So here we are going to prepare realization account, and this is how we are supposed to prepare realization account, and then we are supposed to prepare partner's loan account, and if any surplus is there, then we are supposed to pay to the partner that loan, and partner's capital account also we are supposed to prepare, and whatever the remaining profit or loss of the realization account is there, that is supposed to be carried forward to the partner's capital or current account. And when all the cash is